What if your biggest fears aren't trying to stop you, but they're actually trying to show you something? Like coded messages telling important detail about your life's deepest lessons. I mean, there is plenty to be fearful about these days, so I understand why people are anxious. The crazy news cycle, these big global events, it's really intense out there. And that's on top of our everyday normal fears like, is my body going to heal? Is my partner messing around? How am I going to pay the bills this month? But fear is almost never about the present moment. Unless you're about to step in front of a bus or you're being followed by some creepy person down a dark alley, fear lives in your mind. And it's projecting a future that may never happen, and most fears don't happen, at least the way we're thinking of them in our minds. I call this a mind loop. And when you get stuck in there, man, those fears can take you down. But if you can step out of that loop and look at the fear itself, it can be a profound teacher. It can reveal what really matters to you, as well as some of the main lessons that you came to Earth to learn. We're going to get into that later in this video. I'm going to share how to decode 3 hidden messages in your fears so it can stop running your life and start guiding your path instead. Prepare to see your fears in an entirely new light. Fear is a rotten fortune teller, but it's a brilliant values detector. If you fear financial problems, fear is telling you that you value security, freedom, creativity. If you're afraid that you're going to lose someone, it tells you that you value love and connection. Unfortunately, our bodies can't tell the difference between, oh my God, there's a bear in the backyard, or I don't think my mother-in-law likes me that much. It doesn't matter how scary the actual threat is. We still get that knot in our stomach, or our breathing is shallow, and sometimes it's a toss-up whether the bear or the relative is scarier. Point is, fear is pointing to what you care about. Why does that matter? Because once we know that, we can use the energy of fear to not just sit in it feeling cruddy, but to actually improve the situation that fear is pointing to. And that leads to the second code. Fear is pure life force. It's adrenaline and focus and alertness. The trick is not to let it freeze you, but to use that energy. And once you understand the specific value that fear is showing you, you can ask, okay, since fear is energy, what's the best way I can use that energy to support this thing I value? For example, if you have health fears, it can point to you saying, okay, I will book that doctor's appointment, or I will commit to cutting out sugar, or I'm going to give my body rest. If it's a money fear that keeps coming up over and over, you could use the energy of that fear to check out how you're actually budgeting your money, or look at other money-making opportunities, or have that conversation with your partner that you don't want to have about finances. The point is, looping fears keep you stuck looping with that gross, nauseated stomach, or craving ice cream or alcohol to calm it. So instead of looping on that anxiety, you can translate that fear into taking action. The third code is the deepest layer, because this one's showing us the lessons where we need to grow the most in. As a near-death experiencer, I strongly believe that all of us come here to Earth to learn specific lessons, and we agreed to those lessons before we actually even came. And these are big lessons. A lot have to do with self-worth and self-love. Like if you have fear of money, sometimes the lessons are about self-worth or healing scarcity belief systems that you inherited from your family. If your fears are often about health or illness or aging, often these deep fears are about how do we love this body that we're in? How do we treat our body as something sacred and beautiful, not this just piece of crummy flesh that we're carrying around? Or it could mean how to stop taking care of everyone else before we take care of ourselves. If it's often a fear of loss of people that we love, and oof, that's a hard fear. That one can teach us about life's impermanence. It can teach us about surrender. It can also teach us about the importance of connection while we're here with the people, and also about our own strength, that we can go on even when these people leave. So the hidden purpose of fear is threefold. It shows us what we value, it gives us energy to act, and it points straight at the specific lessons we came to learn. Which is pretty dang brilliant when you think about it, even though the feeling of fear sucks. So the next time fear shows up, instead of asking, how can I just get rid of this crappy feeling? Try asking, okay, fear, what are you trying to show me? What lesson are you helping me to learn to heal? I don't know about you, but I don't want to bring these lessons with me when I go, so I guess it's worth trying to listen to fear. I would love to hear, what fear have you been looping on lately, and what lesson do you think that's pointing to? If you want to go deeper into how to break free from these fear mind loops and all other kinds of mind loops, that's what my book is about, and that's what this channel is about, so I hope you stick around. Thank you for thinking about these deep questions with me. And I also want to thank the people who bought me the wonderful coffees on the coffee link in my description last week. I loved them. I thought of you with every sip, and I really appreciate it. So wishing you all an amazing week, and I'll see you next time.